Friends, let me explain you with the help of some examples how to refer to the log tables. Suppose the question is you are supposed to find the log of 23.78. So how do you find the log of 23.78? For that, there are two steps. One step is the step to find what is known as characteristic. So I need to find first the characteristic in the answer. So in my answer, for example, the characteristic is 1. So how I got 1, that I'm going to explain you. And the second part is I need to find the mantessa. Mantessa. So this part, which in my answer, which is 3762, is called as mantessa. Mantessa. And this one is characteristic. So the answer for log of 23.79 to the base 10 is 1.3762. So how did I get this answer using the log table? That I would try to explain. So for that, we need to first write this number without decimal. That is, I need to write this as 2378. So 23.78 I am writing without decimal as 2378, and then I take the first two terms of this, which is 23. So I take the first two terms, which is 23, and look at 23 in the log table. So you see that 23 is located here in the log table. So now 23 is located, so I put a red mark over here. Now the next term is 7. Next term is 7. So what I do is that I locate the 7 here in the log table as shown. So this is the 7th column which I have located. This is the 23rd row. 23rd row which I had located. This is the 7th column which I had located. Now there is a last term which is 8. So what I do is that I go to the mean differences. You find that in the log table there is a mean differences 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the digit is 8. So I take the eighth column. Now what I do is that I find what is the corresponding value. So 23rd row. So I move straight like this, 23rd row, and 7th column I move like this downwards, and I get a value 3747. So that I write it over here. 3747 is my mantissa without differences, 3747. Now what I do is that I take this 8th column in the mean difference, and I move again in the 23rd row like this, straight like this, and the 8th column I move downwards. So I get a number, and that number is 15th. So this is the 15. So I put this 15 over here. Then what I do is that I add this. So addition 7 plus 5, 12, 1 carry, 4 plus 1, 5, and 6, 7, 3. So I get the addition as 3742. So I get the mantissa of my answer. So I get this 3762 as my mantissa. So part of my answer is correct. That is, I got 3762. Now how do I get the characteristic? Because the complete answer is 1.3762. I have got this 3762 now, right? But I need to get the characteristic. So for finding the characteristic, it is very simple. You don't require a log table for that. For finding characteristic, you don't require log table. Just you need to find out how many digits are there before the decimal. So before the decimal, you find that there are 2 digits. Once you get the number of digits before the decimal, subtract 1 from it, and that becomes your characteristic. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So that is how I got the characteristic as 1. So this is how, in a very simple term, you can use the log table to get the answer as 1.3762. Another example will help you understand this more clearly. So let me take another example where I am finding the log to the base 10 of 15.23, and the answer I should get is this 1.1826, where 1.1826 is the mantissa and 1 is the characteristic. Now how do I get this 1826 again? So again, using the same method 1826, if I want to get, what I need to do is that I consider this number without decimal, that is I consider 1523. I take the first two digits, that is 15. I plot it over here, that is 15. I get in the 15th row, this 15th row, and the second, that is 2. I should go for the second column. This is the column. So I go to the second column. I move over here like this. I move in the column like this. And wherever this intersect, I get the mantissa 1818. So this is how I get the mantissa 1818. But there is another term, final term, which is 3. So I need to look for the mean differences column. In the mean differences column, again, third column, I need to move downwards to the same row, in the same row. So I move downwards in the same row. I get the difference as 8. So that difference 8 I need to add over here, and then that becomes my, the addition becomes my answer, mantissa. So 8 plus 8, 16, 1 carry, 1 plus 1, 2, then 1826. So 1826 is the mantissa of my answer, 1826. So I have got this correct. As I said, finding characteristic doesn't require the log table. Now you need to simply find how many digits are there before the decimal. So this is the decimal. This is the decimal, and how many digits are there before the decimal? There are 2 digits, 1 and 2. 2 digits before the decimal. So I need to subtract 1 from that. So 2 places before the decimal minus 1. So 2 minus 1 is 1. So straight away I put the characteristic as 1. So now the answer is 1.1826. So this is how I got the answer for log of 15.23 as 1.1826. A third example will make the concept extremely clear. So what example I have taken? I need to find log of 2.872. Again, to find mantissa, I need to write the number without decimal, 2872. I need to get the first two digits, 28. I need to locate that 28th row, right? And the column is 7th column. So I need to locate the 7th column here. I need to move downwards like this, 7th column, downwards up to the 28th row, and wherever I get that intersection, that becomes my mantissa 4.4579. 4579, I need to correct it, 4579 with the last digit is 2. So I need to go to the mean differences column, which is mean difference is 2. I need to move downwards like this up to this. So the mean difference becomes 3. I need to add the mean difference to the original mantissa 4579 plus 3, and the addition becomes my mantissa of the answer. So this becomes 4582. 4582. Now 4582 is the mantissa. Now how much is the characteristics? Characteristic you need to find, and I have written it as 0. Now why I have got it as 0? Because you see that the number of digits before the decimal is 1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. That is why I have written it as 0. So the answer for log to the base 10, 2.872 is 0.4582. So I hope that you have understood this log very clearly. Let me take another example for finding the log. Now what is it? Now you can do it very quickly on your own. What is it? I have to find log of 10. Okay, log of 10, log of 345 to the base 10. 345. So first I will find characteristic. Characteristic doesn't require a log table. So there are 3 places before the decimal. So 345 means 345.0. So 3 places before the decimal. So 3 places minus 1. So the characteristic becomes 2. So the characteristic becomes 2. So 2 is the characteristics. Now how do I find the mantissa? For finding the mantissa, I need to consider the number 345. First 2 digits 34. I need to locate it over here. 34 is the row, and fifth is the column. Fifth is the column. So I need to move downwards fifth like this, and I need to move like this. So what I get is the intersection, and that intersection is 5 3 7 8. Because you don't have another number over here, so there is no need of calculating the mean difference. So the answer for log to the base 345 is 2.5378, where the characteristic is 2 and the mantissa is 5378, right? So this is how the log table is to be used. Now the other thing is you must know is how to find anti-log. Now anti-log is just the reverse of log. Now, I will just, without going into the concepts of what is log and what is anti-log, I just want to explain the procedure. Look, I will make another video of explaining what exactly log means and what exactly anti-log means, but that is not the objective over here now. So how do I find the anti-log of 2.6452? So for finding the anti-log of 2.6452, again you need to remember the procedure well. So what I do is that I need to, for finding the anti-log, I just first need to consider the mantissa. So the mantissa is 6452. So 0.6452 is the mantissa. So what I do is that I need to take it this first two column, that is 0.64, or first two digits 0.64. I need to locate the 0.64 in the anti-log table now, not the log table. Anti-log table 0.64. The next column is 5, so I need to locate 5. Move vertically downwards like this. Move towards the right on the 0.64. Move like this. Wherever it intersects, that gives you the number 4416. So now I got the number as 4416, right? 4418 or 4416, right? 4416. But there is a final digit which gives me the difference, that is the second column. Again, by tracing that second column in the mean differences, I need to move towards the right, I need to move vertically downwards, and the difference is 2. So that difference I need to add, that gives me the number 4418. Now to get the location of the decimal, because the answer is 441.8, so now I need to locate this decimal, right, in this 4418. Now where to locate the decimal? So you find that the characteristic is 2 here. Characteristic is 2, so I need to add one number to this. So characteristic is 2 plus 3 means the location is 3 digits, okay, to the left of the decimal. It means that 3 digits, 1 2 3, so the number is 441.8. Again I will explain you what exactly I have done. The characteristic is 2. It is written here. The anti-log of, you need to find anti-log of 2.645 now. So the characteristic is 2, right? Characteristic is 2, and I need to locate the decimal. So what I do is that 2 plus 1, so 3 places. So for locating the decimal, I need to get 3 places. So the answer which I had was 4418. Now what I do is that one place, second place, third place. So this is the location of the decimal. Third place is the location of the decimal, and the answer becomes 441.8. It means that the anti-log of 2.6452 is 441.8. Okay. If it was not understood, one more example I need to take. I need to find the anti-log of 3.3010. So 3.3010 means 0.3010. I need to take first two digits, 0.30. So I locate it in the anti-log table, 0.30. This is 0.30, and the first column. So the first column is this. This is the first column. So you move downwards like this in the first column, and over here, so you get the digits 2000. So, and there is the mean difference is 0. So you get the answer as 2000. Right, now where to put the decimal? The characteristic is 3. So 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4, so I need to put the decimal at the fourth place. 1, 2, 3, 4 means over here, and this is the answer. Okay, so this way, in finding the antilog, the most important point is to place the decimal correctly. And how do you place the decimal? For placing the decimal, you need to remember this formula, that characteristic plus 1 will give you the location of the decimal. So in this case, 3 plus 1, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is the location of the decimal, and this becomes the answer. I hope that you have understood how to refer to the log table and anti-log table clearly. Okay, see you. Bye.